Okay, I'm going to bring you back. Finish up your last sentence. There's a lot of debate going on. Is the back group ready? You guys ready back there? He's just finishing his last thought, and then we're going to go. You ready? I know. You'll have more time to talk, I promise. I promise. So I heard a lot of wonderful conversations, and I'm hoping that a few of you would be willing to share some of your thoughts about their first attempt at making essential questions. And as I walked around, I also had some conversations about some things that we're going to talk about as we keep writing essential questions over the next hour. So what things came up in your groups, or how was it writing your first question? What did you think about the process of interrogating your content, and were you successful? What are you thinking right now about writing essential questions?
I would say the initial thought from getting here with the group is that there's power in doing this in a collaborative manner as an isolation. Yeah, because we thought we had something that was like mediocre, like okay, and then we came here and they had one that was like we thought was like out of the park, and so, but it helped us all clarify our thinking because it was like whoa.
So perhaps a great idea would be maybe for your grade level meetings then to spend time looking at essential questions. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What other things were you thinking as you made questions? I know there's lots of thoughts. I heard lots of things as I was walking around.
We talked a little bit about the question should link the subject matter to themselves in order to help them take ownership of their learning, as well as apply it to real life.
Yep, definitely. So if you're looking at your questions and you say to yourself, will my kid understand this question in class? Is that kiddo really going to get it? Is this going to even pique their interest? And if the answer is no, then it's time to look at it and say, how can I make this more kid-friendly? How am I going to use this question to really get the kids interested and digging more and having more questions? What other things were you thinking as you developed questions? It's hard. It takes a bunch of time. Yeah, it takes a lot of time and a lot of thought and a lot of collaborative work. But once you have these series of questions, you're really going to see that the students are able to grab onto it, and that your lessons will become more interconnected. And then the students will start seeing connections, like a lot of these questions were related to real life things that they encounter. They'll start pulling it back. So, there's a lot of benefits to having essential questions guide your units of instruction. Anything else that we'd like to share before we try another way to? Go ahead.
Someone here made the point that, I think we're all hooked on the fact that we want all kids to get there, to get the answer, and that, maybe we're not going to have every student get the answer. So that kind of validated, that feeling of letting that go. It's okay as long as they've struggled and they're starting to figure things out, even if they don't have the full answer, it's okay.
Yeah, no matter what, if you think about the student, they are going to be on some sort of level of understanding of what your learning objective is. And, we just keep moving the students, and I know we have the grades, but really just thinking about the student, we're just always continually trying to move the student further up and up, and we all know that we need different levels of instruction for our kids, and having these questions help make that an even playing field when there's not an exact answer, because the students will be able to grow to their optimal, and then we can pick up. Some of the reading in the book suggested that even having an essential question across multiple grade levels. So if you have a concept that builds, especially if you think about your language arts standards, with how linear they are, from grade level to grade level, if you had an essential question that really is the culminating, experience for the student, you might be able to build some sort of instructional units or ideas, or, even just with the student's mind, why am I doing this? That would be very powerful. Anything else that you'd like to share? Okay. Would we like to stay in our groups, or do we want to move back home? I'll let you choose. Do we like our groups? Nobody wants to say anything?